or mats, please find whatever's a comfortable seat, something that's easy to transition into child's pose in just a moment. But for now, we're going to find our breath to begin class. Always remembering that if you'd like to grab things that will assist your practice, soft things for under knees or buns and postures, have that close by now. And you all know my style, so we're going to have a little bit of fun, flowing FriYAY class today. Bringing hands somewhere that they're feeling relaxed all the way up to your shoulder heads. Think about bringing chin parallel to the floor and then lifting like a puppeteer is pulling a string from the crown of your head to the sky. Blink your eyes closed if that feels safe, unless you're looking at something beautiful around, just a soft gaze on that item. And as we're finding our breath, we're choosing to approach class today with kindness and compassion, an open beginner's mind full of curiosity, seeing where we can spread our breath, how it's feeling, the sensations, the temperature of it, and simply taking time to be and notice. Let's take a second to figure out where is the spot that we're really feeling our breath now. Remember that and hang on to it so we can recheck in throughout the class. You can be a positive, happy, grateful person and still have days that are not so great. Maybe they're a little off. Maybe you're feeling allergic to the atmosphere or they're downright terrible days. When we do our yoga practice, I love to breathe in things like love and light, rainbows. We make shapes with our bodies that feel like beautiful things. But when you're not feeling like everything is sunny and joyful in your life, that is the exact moment that we need to be coming to our mats. Our mat and our yoga practice is here to support us, and it turns a little bit of any funk around to something a bit brighter and a bit more positive and energetic. Let's say yes during our practice to thinking good thoughts, but also acknowledging and feeling any emotions or sensations that arise. We're not here to pretend or to be perfect. We're just here to practice breathing, being, noticing, and cultivating a strong sense of awareness. Beginning to breathe some movement into our bodies. Wherever you feel a bit stiff or tight or achy, like my low back always kind of feels cranky before I get moving, so I like to circle. If you'd rather lean back and open your heart and your chest and breathe, or you need some reaches up to the sky, if you need a forward fold, do anything in your seated position that would make you feel great and graceful to transition to a child's pose. I'm going to reach out forward and get some length in my sides, sway a little bit. And there won't be any rush, but when you feel like I'm ready, come on and take your body right on around to a child's pose. And let's make this transition all part of the practice. This one and every transition forward, a smooth, gentle sway into our next posture. Consider tucking toes so we can stretch the bottoms of our feet. And bring knees right under belly to support you in the beginning of your practice. Reach arms strongly overhead and then soften the arms into your mat. Let them melt. Turn your palms up to the sky and stretch your shoulders as your forehead falls towards the mat. Really noticing your breath here. Are you able to breathe into your belly so you feel like a balloon is being inflated? Feel your back rise. Feel your chest lift off your thighs a bit. And notice the inverse, the contraction of your ribs, belly up into spine, softening and release. One more breath like that, but reflip palms down, wiggle fingers out, and then try taking them into a suction cup where we pull all tips of fingers towards one another and get hollow in the heel of our hands, energized in the bottom of our arms, and armpits get really lifted. Drop your head for 2 breaths here. Find a big circular expansion and then a big release, a deep sigh of exhalation. Untuck toes, flatten palms, and start to roll up into an angry cat. Semi-tabletop, but we're shifting forward into a modified plank and then right back. Can you cat roll again? Roll up, right back into child. Feel free to sway your hips side to side off of the heels. Ooh, that feels nice. You'll wake up your outer hips, your low back. And when you're ready, try that a bunch more times. Roll forward, modified plank, roll back. Our practice is our own, so I'm just going to ask you to try to marry breath and movement. Let your breath guide you for whatever speed is really beneficial and nourishing for your body today. Taking time to pause whenever that feels more inviting. And then taking it up if you are ready. Tuck toes, rise up into plank, and continue that practice. Shifting forward, shifting back, but this time it looks and feels like a crouch. Knees can touch back down, or you can hover. Now to really warm up our wrists, let's re-engage our fingertips like we did in our clawing at the ground. Kind of like you're going to palm a basketball. Make the tips of your fingers a little white as you get a bit stronger in each knuckle. Just wake up your wrists like that. For one more round, really grip into the earth. Press back. Child's pose turns into tabletop. Hands under shoulders now. And if you haven't yet circled through your rib cages, try that. A little swing around the corner. Think of your navel like a big spatula and you're stirring a big bowl of chocolate cake batter. We want to get around to all the edges. Don't forget to switch directions and really scrape your bowl clean. You could add a little cat-cow in here so we can press to the side, round into cat, press to the side, and roll through cow. Just 2 more times. And before we begin class today, a little breath work. Let's come to kneeling. If you'd like to put something under your buns, between your heels or under your knees, get comfy here. Hands somewhere light in the beginning to drop chin to chest. Roll left ear to left shoulder. Come back to the center, chin to chest, right ear to right shoulder. And if you feel okay, we can just simply roll side to side, trying to fight the hunker. We want to really lift up and lengthen, and then just allow our neck to be really loose and limber here. If you feel extra, extra good, simply rolling a bit more behind the shoulder. Test the waters before we go all the way. And if you're still feeling great, we can certainly continue that roll. Make it more of like a circle. Switching directions. 2 more rounds of breath here. All right, my friends, really warming the wrists up today. Arms rise, neck is neutral. Lift up and overhead, but if this ever gets tiresome, just come forward or close to chest. When we reach up and overhead, we're gonna close into a fist, squeeze tight, and then flick open really fast. So we're gonna squeeze, flick, but we're fist pumping as fast as we can. Trying to think about softening through the shoulders. Softening through the face, because in a second, things are gonna get really warm and toasty, and we're gonna start to grimace and make funny things happen in our face. Our hands and wrists start to feel a little paralyzed, like we've lost control of our motor skills. Hang in there. Remember that anything is possible with your breath. Wrists are really gonna be raring to go after this one. Stay strong, my friends. Hang on. We have 4 more rounds of breath. I know. Lengthen back up through your sides. Don't give in. I know you can. 3 more rounds. Slow down your breath. Soften your facial muscles. Envision a smile in your visuals. Makes things a little easier. See it. Feel that smile. Feel warmth radiating. It's positivity. It's energy. Last exhalation. Hands down. Well done, my friends. Downward facing dog. But if you can't quite trust your hands, give them a second. When you're ready, toes tuck and rise. Test the waters, a little bit of pressure, and then push back when you feel good. All right, move a bit, dance around your dog. That could be a hip sway, a heel swivel, a roll forward and back. Try bending your knees really big and finding tons of length through your spine. Slowly pulling kneecaps back high into thighs when you feel ready. Look out under each armpit, getting a bit more length in our neck sides. And then deepen the posture by thinking about pressing base of thumb and index finger down, but spiraling your biceps forward and triceps back. Shoulder blades kiss the spine, chest heads back to thighs. Thighs head to wall behind you. One more big breath in. Let's walk our fingertips back to our hands this morning, all the way to the back of our mat, and we're just gonna roll up, roll down, walk out, walk in. So from here, like a rag doll, soft and easy, roll to the sky. Arms come up anyway, whether we clasp and rise. Find a new way to release, just to make it really fun and beautiful. Tuck your chin and act as if you can't really control yourself. You're just kind of surrendering to the fold. Feel your fold, really soak it up. Then walk back out to plank or kneeling plank. Kneel anything necessary today. Wait for a second, be soft and floaty. Try to think of this as a beautiful posture instead of a big tough challenge. Not forcing anything, just let it come. Walk back 3 more times like that. Belly in, hips still if possible. Surrender to your fold fully, then climb to the sky. Maybe find a sway, possibly hinging with a flat back to the sky, but try different things each time. Twice more when you're ready. Pause for a second as you approach your plank. Find softness and ease about your way today. Belly in, hips strong. Last roll. One more time, walking our planks, finding some spinal articulation. Just an extra second in your plank. Shift to your fingertips. Get a little bit more weight in your wrist. Shift to each pinky finger. Walk on back. And then like an animal, we're going to take one hand forward, the other hand forward, and our feet follow. We get this little animalistic walk all the way up to the top of our mats. To find forward fold again. Rising to the sky, let's begin some sun salutations and really honor this beautifully sunny morning. Rise and shine, my friends. Inhale. Exhale by bending knees. Bring arms to heart or the sides for a little challenge and start to fold just halfway. We're going to do like a seesaw. Fold halfway and then rise back up. You're on one side of the seesaw. Fold and then rise. Okay, sink into your hips, press back. We can also stretch arms behind us. If you really want to make it challenging, stretch arms overhead. This is great to build up our muscles along our spine, all this flat back work. Let's try 4 more. Inhale. Now you can keep your knees just as bent for any forward folds today, but if possible, straighten just a tad and hold halfway. Move arms wherever necessary. 1 more breath. Tuck your chin, lengthen back of neck. Refold deeply. Spin around the corner a tiny bit. Grab a hold of biceps and make it a little bit more free-flowing as we spin to heels. Still that spin. Bring it back into halfway lifted fold, top of head away from tail. Fingertips are soft, floating back towards our heels. Release to fold and step your right leg straight back. Can you land softly using muscles? Come on down into your kneeling lunge and walk your front foot out a little bit so there's room for both hands inside left big toe. Stretch forward if you can. I just want you to find a ton of length in your side. So even if you want to sit up, this is great. Stretch forward and fold a bit if you can, or off to the right side. Take another breath in. Come under the shoulders, shift your weight back, and then do the same thing. Stretch out, If you have props and you want to sit up, soften your left knee, long in sides, energy through your spine. Shift back forward, sweep your left leg out to gate pose. One more time, same thing. We can rise, lengthen sides, or we can reach and lengthen. Soft left knee as we breathe. Try all of the things. See what feels really good for today. Come right back the way you came, please. Sweep your leg forward, but this time into the center of your mat. So you can frame out front foot. Back leg steps in, lift. Maybe we kind of momentum our leg forward, give it a little swing. Forward fold, a slow rise to sky, unfurling our spines. Slow, so we're steady and we don't get dizzy. Release right back down any way that feels good. Halfway lift, really big inhalation. Soft, floaty fingertips back towards our heels. Release. Left leg, long lunge. Step softly back to use muscles and then kneel, shin and top of foot. Ready to go? Toe heel a little wider to the right side. Reach inside right big toe. Breathe and extend. Create space between your ribs. If they feel a little tight and dark, we're going to try to breathe some of that light and energy into those newly opened spaces. Visit all the places to reach. Back through the center, shifting hips back. Now watch your toes on the right leg. They're welcome to stay flat, but if they rise, we want to square them back towards the back of our mat, right? Not poking in or out, so we can enjoy the full stretch left to right on the back of our leg. Explore a little bit of a new place. That is nice. Come back forward so you can sweep right leg out to the side. Soften your knees here. And where do you want to go? I could stay in this halfway lift too and just kind of move and find my body. Asking for permission. Let your body say when it's time to get a little deeper. Invite the movement, but really listen to what your body's telling you. Make some space to bring your leg right back forward to the middle this time. Frame out, front foot, and step in. I like to give it a little lift that feels so nice and light. A deep fold, a rise to the sky. Inhale, arms rise, and we're going to add a little bit of funky business today. So let's step our left leg back and softly tap our knee. If not possible, no worries. Step straight back and do a little knee tap in regular lunge if the curtsy hurts something. Come back to the center, tap, knee lift. Arms can be anywhere if it's too challenging up here. Same thing 3 more times. So we have a tap, softly, a little curtsy. And if we hover, that's great. Try to get low though. That's why I like to find the floor in the beginning. A tap and a knee rise. Without, without falling and without the taps if possible. We're gonna try to step back and then try not to tap, knee lift again. Wiggly, wiggly. Ready for one more? Wherever you are is good. Arms reaching long if possible. Big knee lift. Exhale, forward fold. Well done. Both feet are down now. Holding on to something, the backs of your calves, the side of your mat, and try to pull yourself just a tad bit deeper. Fully surrender crown of head to the floor. Halfway lift so we don't get dizzy. When you feel ready, let's re-rise. Okay, same thing on the other side. Inhale, right knee is stepping behind or straight back. And remember, if I do this, just still the same. Little knee tap or little knee hover. Tap, right knee rises. One more with our taps in between to get our wits about us. Find our balance. Awesome. Back in, tap. All right, now we move slower, but we're going to take these taps out. Oh, getting into outer hip, outer thigh and glute if you're finding your curtsies. Still using a lot of your leg, but mainly top of leg and side if you're lunging straight back. Last time, I cheated, I did the tap. If you need it, use it. Beautiful. One big knee lift. Land your foot softly forward fold. Take your time, there's never a rush. Right leg lunges back this time. Kneeling lunge, always there for us, but we're rising through the arms no matter what the lower body is doing. Sink down and just find a tiny bit of a pulse, opening your right hip flexor. If this feels great and you want a little bit more, you can lift your left heel and pulse that way. Widen your stance left to right if necessary. It's a little fun to have the wiggles in the morning. It really wakes you up. Holding your lunge with heel lifted or not. Frame out front foot, push back to downward facing dog. Take any pit stops. If you'd prefer to get a tabletop or a child's pose in before your dog, that's great. Rolling forward to plank, soft here, easy. Letting our chest melt down to our knees. I meant take it to our knees and let our chest melt down to our elbows. Come to the floor. Soft little fingertips, so we're barely using our hands. Tuck chin and lift the upper body from the back of your neck. Close big toes together, give a squeeze inwards. Elevate toes, knees, and thighs, really soft on fingers, potentially hovering. Feeling as if our back bodies are magnetized up to the ceiling. Or the sky if you're outside. One more big breath in. Exhale, release, ease back. I love a swing and a sway. Ease back into child's pose. Yeah, love on your low back for a minute. Downward facing dog, rise. Stay a little longer if you'd love it, but right leg lifts when you're ready. A three-legged dog crunches into lunge, knee underbelly, knee to nose, then in between the thumbs. Rising into high lunge when you're ready. You're welcome to continue kneeling. Arms are what are coming higher. Yeah, and then let's find our left hip flexor with a tiny pulse. Think about scooting tailbone down, left hip flexor a little forward, scissoring inner thighs together. Right heel has an opportunity to rise if you want to wiggle with me. And it really feels like a dance once you get your wiggles on. We don't have to rush here. I know we try to rush through the tough stuff, but take your time to get really long, strong. 2 more, my friends. Hang on in. Relax your facial muscles and your shoulders. Softly find your lunge with your heel lifted or not. 1 more big breath in, lifting from back ribs as much as the front, belly tight. Fold over front foot. Ha, good job. Step back leg in or drag it if it's really tired. Forward fold, swing if you wish. Rise high to the sky with a newfound sense of energy and strength. Arms rise. Okay, 1 more fun little balance round. Inhale, knees lift. Relax your shoulders here. Oftentimes we get really stuck. Shoulders to ears, we clench up. So just try to soften, even if that means we have to come into goalpost. Length through your neck, easy way about you. Tap your toes to your left knee, and then come back forward, knee lift. Extend leg forward, knee lift. Side lift, knee lift. Right behind us, squeeze your buns up. Press back, stay lifted here, knee lift. 1 more round, tap your knee. Leg comes forward. Sideways, nice. Knee lift again, and that's the hard part, a little crunch each time. Glute squeeze. 1 more knee lift. Right into the other side, soft fingers, give them a wiggle now and then. Anything you need in between, left toes rise. You know you can always keep this low and tap your ankles instead. Ready to go? Knee, forward, give your quad a squeeze. Give the outer thigh a squeeze. Give the back body a squeeze, lengthen. Super, 1 more round, always lifting in between. Little kiss, I love that part. Extend, relax your shoulders. Mine got a little creepy there. Back we go. Awesome, knee lift. Let the arms fall down, super job. Let's try to hinge, hands at heart center. Stand up really tall, soften your knees, but hinge straight forward and down. Spread arms if you'd like to, falling to the earth. Great job, ladies. Step your left leg back. Big breath in, high lunge. Into warrior 2 this time. All right, now let's sink and think about how we look. What we see in our mind's eye may not be the exact case, so it's nice to manually check in. Soft left knee, lift the energized through left leg. Right knee, long and open. Arms floating wide. Clasping right thumb on top, hands behind low back. Another little segment of heel lifts, which are totally optional. Right heel rises. Feel okay? Really send your knuckles long with soft elbows. And if it bothers your elbows, bend your arms and hold your forearms behind your back. Tiny pulses. Now we're thinking low without locking left knee and pulling right knee out. Can you unclench your right toes? It's hard to do. Stay strong. Pulsing even if your heel is not lifted. 2 and 1. Refind right heel into the earth. Bend into your warrior 2. Take your eyes to right big toe. Spin back heel to the sky with arms here. I know this is hard. Floating half moon. So you're welcome to go like this. Pop, pop, pop through the back leg and then lift, okay? But if you're feeling really spicy today, we're gonna lift that back heel, shift our weight, eyes to the floor, and then boost up. Trying to stack left shoulder and hip over the right, and then lengthen out your right side body. Move your arms around the front of your body to give yourself this gigantic hug. It's hard to move the arms and the eyes. Anytime you do, your balance is gonna be really compromised. Hang in there if possible. Softly landing back into warrior 2 with this hug. Ooh, baby, tap down. Once you've found it, spread the arms. Great job. Windmill arms down into low lunge. Press back to dog. If you'd like to stop, you know anything is possible. Shift forward softly into plank. We love plank. Chest to elbows, but shine bright. Open your chest. The same we did before, a little hovering finger through full locust, lower half and top half rise. Or if you want a little more, toes stay down, hands under shoulders or wherever they're comfy to lift you up just a little bit, elbows still bent. And then I love a rock and a roll here. Unclench your cheeks if you're rolling. Press back to dog. I love to stop in child's along the way if you want to join me. Right on up to the sky, breathe in. Left leg lifts. We step right between the thumbs with a big crunch to get there. Sometimes it's good to lift your left palm so you have room. Back leg steps in, give me a fold, and then rise. Do you want to rise like we came down? Thumbs can come to hip crease, bend your knees, flat back extension, and then rise with a flat back. How'd that feel? Super good. I'm glad to hear it. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Forward fold. Any way to get to the earth. Right leg takes a long lunge back. High lunge. Upper body is super energized, bright. Ribs are open. Breath is flowing like a basket weaving. Falling into our warrior 2s. Really sink. Might look good in the brain, but let's just see. Is everything feeling okay? Got a little softness in my right knee. Everything is really open. Shoulders. I can check in by opening palms. See if I can spread my collarbones anymore. Left heel. Invite it to lift. Ready for a little challenge? Wiggly through my left toes. And I'm going to start to send my left fingers to that side wall. Reach. Do the same with your kneecap. Reach and release. Soften your right knee. Soften eye gaze, soften breath, using lightness whenever we can. Last big one, last big breath in. Land softly in warrior 2 with your heel down. Give anything a wiggle, especially your left toes. Reach out to the left side, look at your left toes, and spin right heel up. Floating half moon. Now clasp left thumb on top, behind low back, and press knuckles behind you. Ready to boost? It's okay if we don't boost. We might do a little tap, a little tap, and then when we're ready, we rise. Using our breath to open our shoulders, our hips, our side bodies, looking for a really strongly flexed right foot. Stamp it on your wall. A long left side body. And stacked right shoulders and hips over left. Let's move our arms to give ourselves that gigantic hug, really slowly unfastening. Know that you're gonna wobble, so prepare yourself, breath strong. A little giggle if you fall over, and true yogis come right back to it. No rush. Slowly landing right foot into our warrior twos. Make everything happen again. Lift in the chest. Give yourself that big hug and then spread the arms. Windmill arms down to lunge. Rotate back, heel up and in as you do. Back to dog. Roll forward when you're ready. That was a big sigh of exhalation. I'm glad we're done the hard parts. Softly ease down. Chaturanga becomes any miniature back bend that you want. Any of the ones we've practiced. Or if you're ready for a big one, up dog. Straightening our elbows, lifting our knees and thighs, and then opening our throat and eyes. Breathing into your belly. Feel how soft and supple it is. Roll straight back to dog or take any pit stops. Left leg elevates. You're going to take a little M&M shape. We're going to tap it over the right pinky toe, back where it started, and then out to the side. Soften right knee to make your spine really long. Got that little M&M going on. Now think about your muscles. Think outer thigh as we tap out. Inner thigh as we tap across the right heel. And let's make one more M&M. M&Ms are no good in one. We need at least two. Let's do another one. Who can eat only one? Come on back. Regular downward facing dog. Pause. Dolphin pose. Can you drop your forearms? If you need to drop your knees to do it, go for it. Coming to forearms. Ease chest back and then begin to walk toes towards elbows. Now, if your shoulders are really cranky, you are welcome to clasp your hands and press through the pinky side of your hand. Dolphin can make you shaky if you're really doing it right. We're going to press through the forearms. Try to bring our noses behind our tricep muscle so that pressing is really strong. And then pulse the heels up. Doesn't have to be fast. A little lift, a little lower. Rocking weight forward and back. Breathing while you do it. Holding dolphin if that feels better. 4. When you're ready, step your feet back so you can come back into downward facing dog. Just press straight up through the palms or drop your knees and find your dog when you're ready. Shoulders may be getting tired, wrists, you know your body best. If we're listening, we take a break whenever necessary. Otherwise, we're doing just a few M&Ms and we'll be done with dog. Right leg rises. Tap it across your left pinky toe. Try to tap. If you don't tap, you can hover. Back to where you started. Out to the side. So I have a little bit of a soft left knee, so I can really extend long in my spine. Remember to equalize by pressing base of thumb and index finger down as you spiral your biceps forward and triceps back. Yeah, we are doing it. We're on our last one. One more M&M. It's like you never have enough, but this one last one's going to be extra tasty. Squeeze, squeeze, and right back to normal. Thank goodness. Lift your heels. Tippy toe walk in. I know we're dying to get out of down dog, but take your time if you can. Great job, my friends. Once you get into fold, bend your knees back to where we started, our chair pose. Clasp hands or forearms behind low back. And if you have the energy to extend, extend as you rise into chair. Sink down a little further. Just a bit of a balance here. If elbows are unhappy, listen to that and really bend your elbows because sometimes we have a tendency to lock out there, so we want to be really soft. Heels are rising and falling, no speed, just a lift. Think about it as a hug. I can't get mine up. There we go. And then release softly or possibly hover. Your calves are going to hug into your shin bones. Inhale, whatever breath works. Luckily for us, we already incorporated our balances into our sun salutations earlier, so we're done that part. 3, 2, and 1. Great job. From here, stay in chair, but make it a queen chair. A little bit wider. Bring hands to heart center. And begin to squat. Now, wherever your squat is, we're going to hold. I like to turn my toes out a tad and come down hips low into yogi squat. And then I just want to play with a little opening and closing, which can happen up high with elbows, or if I'm even higher, with my hands. Watch in your high squats that your knees are behind your toes, so I don't want to push out and hurt myself. Toes out, it's just gonna be like a little lengthening, we think, and then a squeeze, lengthening and squeeze. If you're down low, we use palms, tented fingertips, or my favorite, I really love this because it's easier and stronger, clasping knuckles together. All right, ready? A little push and a little push. Like send your chicken wing out, send your other chicken wing out. Okay, so we're gonna do something really funky. If you have a pillow or a block, you may wanna sit intense for the shoulder, slowly approaching this and really listening to your feedback that the body's giving you. One more push each way. Right, so no matter where you are, left fingers, even just the tips of them, go behind your left ribs. Speaking of chicken wings, we're gonna tuck this one inside the knee. I'm gonna show you this from the back. We take our fingertips just behind our ribs. We can certainly do the whole hand, but that makes it a lot harder. So when you're starting, just your fingers, and then your fingers are gonna wanna give up, so we're gonna try to flare them back open. Okay, left hand, little chicken wing. Too much? Just hold. Big in the shoulder, yes? Move through it. If we tip over to that side, does it make it easier? If we tip away, does it make it easier? Find somewhere that it feels stretchy, new and different, but not horrible. Switch when you're ready. You might need a little help out. Lift, and then don't expect a lot of this arm, possibly giving it a little rub. Last time, let's get this chicken wing. Right fingertips, right behind the ribs or your side body. Tuck it in if possible. So even if I'm up high, I'm trying to do the same thing. Seeing where you are, can you flare your fingertips open back there? Through the intensity, where can you find some relief? Toes, fingers, facial muscles. Move a little bit. If it's just really tough, try to find somewhere that you're feeling a bit more comfort. At the bottom of that exhalation, release your little chicken wing. It might want some help. Bring your arm forward, give it what it needs, and then sit to the earth as slowly as you can. You can always support yourself down. Ah, that's nice. Bring soles of feet together with any cushioning underneath to feel heavy in the inner thighs. Let them be free after that big squat. Moving heels wherever it feels good for a bound angle. Some of us like to make a diamond. And then rocking around so your sits bones are free of flesh, or you can super gently assist the meat out under the bones. There we go. Feeling really grounded, like you could spread your roots far and wide. Lifting up to apple pick. Reach to the sky, and then reach the other hand up to the next branch. Same thing. Keep climbing. Belly is in, and I'm finding space in my ribs to go as long in my spine as possible. Love that little wiggle because it gets your sides really stretched out. Your low back probably likes that, right? If your low back is unhappy, you're welcome to tuck something under your bones to assist your hips up a little higher to be comfy here. Next apple, we release and bring them all down. Reach forward, folding. Hands somewhere to support you or stretch out long. Inviting a bit of that motion into your ocean. Or maybe all the waves calm down and you're finding that perfect moment of stillness. Tuck your chin. Back of neck lengthens. Flip your palms up to the sky, even if they're resting on your thighs, just to give yourself more opening across your collarbones and try to inflate that balloon again, right up under there. Fingertips come back to the floor to support us in our rise, and then behind us. I face my fingers to toes, but check with your shoulders and see what they want. Some of us like fingers out a little bit more. We're gonna try to rise our hips. So when you get comfy back here, just a little bit of a rise, see how it feels. I like to really squeeze the blade edges of my feet together and get a little squeeze through my buns to help me open the front body. Feel good? Can you rise a little more? How about one more little boost, really opening here. And on your next exhale, release all the way back. I always like to help my knees close because sometimes they get a little tuckered out. And then we're rolling to our backs for some core, incorporating those legs. We're gonna do frog crunches. All right, you good? When you're backing down, let's bring our knees to our chest, find your bound angle pose again, except now it's a frog leg. So we're gonna hold on to the tops of our feet or wherever we can. Some people like shins. Rise up through the chest, envisioning a ripe fruit under your chin. I don't want to squish it by crunching. I like to take my eyes up towards the sky here, or the separation between wall and ceiling. Spread legs wide for straddle, or as wide as you can go, and now reach towards the bottom of your mat. Frog, crunch, straddle, crunch. Let's do 2 more like this. We're gonna add on. Last one, frog, straddle. Coming into frog, lift, arms and legs go straight overhead and long, however much you can go. If low back starts to rise, take it a little higher. This is called double leg stretch. Straddle crunch. Frog crunch. Double leg stretch. Let your head and neck rest here in your double leg stretch. Frog. Straddle. Double leg stretch. 3 more just like that. Challenge yourself to really lower your heels towards the earth so that your low back is threatening to rise, but you hold strong and breathe right through that. 2 more rounds. Now, if you can, we're gonna karate chop the next frog. Instead of holding on, take fingertips like karates, karate chops, and reach them. There we go. And then do the same for your straddle. Double leg stretch. 8 karate chopping frogs at the top. We're just gonna pulse. Try to reach. Remember, ripe fruit under the chin, so we take it really long in our necks. We have 4 more karate chops. 2, double leg stretch. Rest your head and neck. Let it fully relax on the earth. Hold your double leg stretch. 4 breaths in here. I can bend my knees. I can take my toes and fingertips higher to sky. 2 more breaths. Low back stays down no matter where I am. Straddle the legs open or bend knees and straddle this way. 8 karate chops towards the bottoms of our mats. I like to give myself like a high five on this one. Good work, ladies. The end of the core is close. 3, 2, and 1. Close your knees. Let your body rest back. Let your shoulders melt. Little rock side to side. Your eyes may want to look over one shoulder if your neck got stiff there. As you're rocking, look to the opposite way. Nice work, my friends. Come back to the center with your eye gaze, and we're gonna try to get back to tabletop. So you can just simply roll to your side and find your way up. Or if you wanna have fun, you can rock toes to head, roll over any way, shape, or form. We're gonna do a little back strengthening. Okay, knees under hips, tabletop. Hands under shoulders, belly really up and in. Take your right toes and sting them up to the sky. Not a flat foot this time, a stinger like a scorpion tail. Right back down to tabletop. Same with left toes. Point, sting, and every time I do this, I'm alternating sides now. My belly is really up, so I'm not getting that cow shape. I'm staying really strong. Point, squeeze. Point, and squeeze. Just 1 more each side after this one. We're gonna make it a lot more fun. Now you're welcome to stay with just that, or extend the knees a little bit further behind you. So now you're in more of a modified plank. Right toes come up and we add a tricep push-up on, like a chaturanga. Elbows hug body, we come in, up, switch. Scorpion tail. So we have scorpion push-ups now. If I don't love those, I just keep stinging the sky, 1 leg after the other. Now, if we're going through this and you're like, okay, this is easy peasy, I got this. Take it up into plank. I don't think I would ever say any push-up is easy, but if you're thinking that, shift forward, push up, come down. Stinger, shift, push up, Tap down. We have 2 more, ladies. 1 on each side is all I need. Slow, steady, and strong. Great job. Ease back into child's pose. Give your shoulders a break. I like to swing a little side to side like a sway, getting into all the nooks and crannies in your shoulders, the blades, and your armpits. All right, shift on forward to your belly, a little bit more back work, and it can be a push-up if you'd like. So you could come to plank, do a chaturanga to get to the floor, and then just make sure your clothes are really comfy under you so you're not bothered by wrinkles or whatever. Hands come under shoulders, toes walk as far back as possible. Bend your right knee and your stinger back to the sky. As you reach arms overhead. Same thing other side, right leg comes flat, left toe stinger up to the sky. Reach stinger and release. Stay with that, or lift your thumbs up, reach arms overhead, and continue your stinger. That's really hard to do, right? Slow down. Push strong through the toenails of the opposite foot as you sting. Option with me, straight long leg extensions. Push, pull toes to sidewall instead of sky. 4 more. A lot of hamstring work there. Hands come back under shoulders. Press back, a little swing and sway. Maybe an up dog, but definitely a child's pose. Swish out all that tension in your back, kind of like you're swishing through the slopes. One more back strengthener to finish. Right back to tabletop when you're ready. Tuck left toes behind you and get a stretch. Reach right arm, thumb up forward. Elevate left toes. We're gonna try for modified half bow. So let's bend our left knee, sweep right thumb down and behind you. If I'm not able to grab my left foot, I just act like I'm about to. I really go for it. No grabbing necessary. Still getting really strong. Belly in. But if you are able to grab the top of your foot or your ankle, then we're going to start to really boost down through left hand, making this gorgeous U shape with our body. Half bow pose. Still squeezing, strong in the upper body, pull back in shoulders, strong in low back, last breath in. Re-lengthen everything all the way back to where you came from, a slow rewind to the floor. If you need a stretch, go for it. Tuck right toes back when you're ready. Belly really in here. Left thumb towards the sky. Elevate right foot. Stay in pointer if you didn't love that half bow. Or turn your left thumb down, bending your right knee as you're reaching back for shin, top of foot, whatever's catchable. And if nothing is, you're with me. You're just going to go and think super strong, reach towards those objects. If we have a hold of our shin or top of foot, right hand is strongly boosting us up into this cup shape. Find some softness in your facial muscles, length and depth in your breath. One more big breath in and a controlled release out of here. Reach back forward for a pointer. Hands come down to tabletop. Shift hips back, but bring knees together. Hips off to the left side and arms off to the right. Twisting through your child's pose. Dropping our heads, the more we surrender the upper body, the more relaxed we get through the rest. Walking through the center in your time, shifting hips over to the right, hands to the left. You're always welcome to stack your hands. On this side, right would come on top of left. They'll give you a little more stretch. And then because it's funky, flowing FriYAY, let's get a funky Friday posture in. Come on back to the center in child's pose. Okay, we can stick with the first option. You always know that. I'm going to layer a few things in. See how you feel about this. Left arm threads under the right. You've been here. Needle threaded child's pose. And you can just stay right here. Sweep your right arm around your low back as an option. If you're going to stay, I definitely recommend that massage therapist moment, like press your forearm down and press it towards tailbone to get a nice massage in the low back, releasing in your shoulder. But if you want to get funky with me, let your left ear or side of face rest on something soft on the floor. Prop up to your right toes. Reach your right arm skywards. Fix any wardrobe malfunctions if you need to. Reaching right arm skywards, the toes follow. That's fun. This may be fun enough, but if you want a little more, oh boy, Funky Friday. Hey, the worst that's going to happen is that you're going to roll backwards. You're going to find the floor. Make it a soft little graceful roll. If you can grab the top of your right foot. Oh man, if I don't tumble backwards, it'll be a miracle. So we'll see how today goes. Give it a squeeze. I promise you I've tumbled backwards a ton of times and it doesn't hurt. It's just silly and goofy and it happens before you know it. So if you've already done it, congrats. Come back to one of those postures we just did. Last breath. Rewind, my friends, slowly coming out of everything just the way you came. Toes find the floor, you're safe. Top arm floats down. If your wrist was connected behind low back, unwind that, unthread your needle. Come to kneeling if you need a shoulder massage or you need a moment. Otherwise, just sink back into child's, possibly rocking and enjoying a little moment of stillness. All right, let's get Funky Friday. Flow back on. Right arm threads under. Thread the needle. Keeping left arm there. Sweeping it behind low back. Or moving on with us. Right side of face is towards the mat. Could be on something softer. Left toes tap back. Left arm finds the sky. All right, here we go. This is when it gets a little scary, fun scary. Left toes follow our left pinky finger. Left heel bends towards butt. And we may be able to grab, a hold, get a beautiful stretch, or tumble backwards. No big deal, right? I tumble backwards, I come right back if I feel like doing it again, or I just stay in one of my first options. See, it's kind of fun, and listen, you think about it like, oh, I got an extra back massage in my class today. Take another breath in wherever you are. Try to really slowly rewind anything that you did. Tap toes down. One side's always easier than the other, right? Unthread, release left arms, stretch into child's, or you may choose to come to kneeling and kind of give yourself a little rub. Let's rise back up to our kneeling posture. And if this is super uncomfortable, something soft under buns, under knees, or change your posture altogether. Giving our shoulders a hug, probably a little massage after putting a lot of weight on them. And then trying for cat-cow once more here, but it's like a miniature version. We're gonna draw our elbows towards our chest and kind of roll around, give it a little hug, and then do the same the other way. Navel forward, tailbone, top of head back. And as you're hugging, you're lifting your elbows here, maybe a sway side to side. Let's do that with our breath. Finding any little crevices that need some extra release. Twice more. And then a super gentle twist to finish. Hands float down. Shoulders probably feel pretty free now, right? Both hands over to the right side. If you're kneeling, use your right leg. If you're seated, use the floor, your mat, the inner thigh, whatever works. Try to get really long here. And then we twist. The longer our top of head to tail is, the easier that swivel will be. Back to the center. Cross over the other way. One more clasp behind low back, whether that's a reverse namaste, held on to fingers, to elbows, or clasp, knuckles pressing towards the floor. Whatever feels really good to uplift. If you're in the reverse namaste, try to peel your elbows apart, long from one another, and then back towards the wall behind you. Last but not least, come forward, crisscross arms if you can, and then really walk fingers down low to hug in tight. Come behind you, inflate the chest again. Depends on where your hands land. I could be on the balls of my feet. I could press off my thighs and lift, or somewhere behind me, on or off. And then as you right yourself back to your seated posture, if there's anywhere you'd like to go back on your back for a posture like a happy baby or some seated or lying spinal twists, go for it. Otherwise, try to get a long seated resting posture to finish class. If you're really tired in your back, you could come up against a wall. We can do legs up the wall, but I would really love it if we could try to sit together for a few minutes. Any props to make your hips lifting a little higher, helping our low back. And once you're really comfy, reconnecting with your breath, remembering where we noticed it a lot in the beginning of class, nostrils, throat, belly, and see if now we feel a little bit more expansive, deeper, more spacious. We're noticing new areas opening. Chin comes about parallel to the floor. Back of neck is really long, and your puppeteer has re-pulled your string high to the sky. During your practice, creating strength, flexibility, coordination, and balance. And my hope is that your newfound beautiful posture carries you confidently through today. As you're breathing, begin to notice tips of fingers energize, toes, hair follicles. We're sending our breath out to the furthest points in our bodies, helping our cells feel really happy, new, excited to start the day and carry you around. I'm very proud of you for saying yes to yourself today. Yes to your own self-care. Yes to feeling rested and renewed, but also rejuvenated, re-energized. Yes to the fact that you are very worthy and deserving of self-love. Let's make it our goal today to continue our yoga practice, our awareness practice, our breath practice off the mat, and move from just being a human to actually a human being in the moment, being in the present breath, really being with our loved ones and our pets. Meeting our own needs on a regular basis by recommitting to our yoga practice. I can't wait to see some of you tomorrow. And continuing to give to the ones you love the most with this newfound sense of awareness. I'm very proud of you today throughout our stumbles, our funny falls, our floating moments, and our not so balanced moments, for making that all a part of your yoga dance. Let's take 3 more breaths in together as a community today. But these are in through our nose and out through our mouths. Maybe a big sigh to finish our practice. Make it like an ah, because it just feels good. 3 breaths in your own time. Try to deepen just a bit. Sit up just a bit taller. Make the next breath a little bit longer. Hopefully feeling tension-free in our faces. Maybe a little upturn in the corners of our mouths for the rest of our day. Yoga has a way of bringing about that mental or actual physical smile. I'm so grateful that I had the chance to practice with you today. Let's bring our hands to our heart center in an acknowledgement and a sense of gratitude for our practice, being able to be here and move, breathe, and feel so free, I hope. Tuck your chin, take a tiny little bow. The light in me honors, acknowledges, is so grateful for the light that is each and every one of you. Have a fabulous Friday. Thank you for practicing with me, and namaste.